Hello, P1 students. So at this point, you've reached the summary writing and the summary paragraph of the outline. As I mentioned before, this 5-paragraph essay is going to be slightly different. You have your intro paragraph, okay, you have your summary paragraph, then you have 2 rhetorical analysis paragraphs, and finally a conclusion. So my first question is this: what is the purpose of a summary? I want you to stop this video, think to yourself, what is the purpose of a summary? Okay, at this point you might say to yourself, well, a summary is just something I do when my teacher tells me to do it. But there are other reasons too. A summary provides information of what you've comprehended or what a reader has comprehended. In other words, a summary is a demonstration and a test of what you actually know about a given text. So, by providing a summary paragraph after the intro, it demonstrates to the reader that you have a decent understanding and comprehension of the text, and your comprehension can actually be tested by the actual text. So in a summary, you want to be as factual and as objective or sticking to the facts as possible. Let's take a look at my summary of primates and personhood. Take a moment and pause the video at this moment and read my summary. In the very first sentence, what you see is the main argument or the article's thesis. This is what I believe is the article or Young's thesis to his op-ed. I'm going to bold that right now. The remaining sentences, except for the last one, are sentences that bring the main ideas to the forefront. So how do I create the main ideas? Well, this is where it gets very useful. The purpose and the summary paragraphs are very useful in the sense that you have chunked or sectioned off paragraphs. So take a look. On my Of Primates and Personhood, I highlighted the very first paragraph, which is one section. Paragraphs 2 and 3 is another section. 4 is another section. 5 is another section. So on and so forth all the way till the end. These sectioned off portions allow me to simplify the whole op-ed into only a few sentences. The highlighted portion here are my main ideas extracted from the actual op-ed. However, my job here is not to go into deep detail. As you can see, if you read this from my actual articles, I try to stray away from too much detail. If your summary is almost as long as your op-ed, that is no longer a summary. On the other hand, your summary can't be too short. Paragraphs aren't necessarily there to repeat themselves. When an author or writer has multiple paragraphs, you have to understand that those paragraphs are there to differentiate information and facts and points. So here, from the author's thesis, all the way down to the very last sentence, or at least right before the last sentence, we have a bunch of main ideas from the op-ed. It's very important here that you be as objective, and you want to use pronouns in the third person, meaning you want to use people's names, like Young's last name. His full name is Ed Young, but notice that I refer to his last name only. In addition to that, I'm not using words such as I believe or you can think that. Okay, words like I and you are first and second person pronouns. Okay, so in a summary, you want to be as factual as possible and you want to be in the third person. He said, she said, a person said, the name of the person said, they said. Okay, stick to the third person. And finally, you have the last sentence, which is the closing or conclusion sentence right before the rhetorical analysis paragraph. Now, what does that mean? A lot of students have trouble with the last sentence of a summary. In our instance, what I did was I'm trying to segue or transition into the rhetorical analysis paragraph. And so what I do is, if you look at my summary, handy dandy summary checklist, what I do is I fulfill this last portion. Okay? The last sentence leads my readers into techniques the writer/speaker implements to persuade his or her audience. Okay. Here's a nice little rundown. First sentence is the identified thesis of the op-ed, article, or text. The middle sentences are the main ideas from your purpose summary charts. The last sentence is a transition sentence that moves from the fact-based, moving into the technique that the writer or the speaker used. One last note, don't forget to include the article's title and the writer's last name at the very beginning. If you have questions, go ahead and ask me. Good luck.